And we are live. How's it going, everybody? Anybody that's here, happy to have you. I'm just booting up my project for the prototype I've been working on, which I'm wondering if, I can't remember if it's available through the launcher yet. Or if I should say, if I set it up to be available through this launcher here, because I previously set up version control through GitHub Desktop, so I was launching it through that folder previously, but about to find out if nope, I did not. Let's browse, prototype, GitHub, yep, okay, open. Ooh, always load last project on startup. That could be nice, let's do that. I don't imagine I'm going to be messing with any different projects, so we'll do that. All right. All right, back at it. In it again. All right, so got a little development here as far as theming for the game. Nothing I've put in yet, but I have a pretty good idea of the theme that I'd like to implement for the game. It's not going to be a golf ball. It's not going to be like platforming to different golf greens or sand traps and such. I'm thinking it would be nice to have this little ball character that you're playing as be like a round, jiggly slime, like a little slime ball. Like it's going to stay as a ball, but it'll kind of like jiggle around a little bit, which that's what I want to try to work on right now. I would like to create some type of squash and stretch for the ball. Maybe not like full on soft body physics, but just some form of like squash and stretching based on the movement of the ball. And I might still have it interact with other types of like ball style game props, like maybe through still like maybe some golf props or even like pinball props or maybe like a little basketball hoop or something. But ultimately, I think the character that you're going to control is just going to be a little jiggly, cute slime that is just happy to be there, just happy to be jumping around, going through different challenges and platforms. So that's what I would like to try to work on. If it's just way too far out of my depth of being able to create this like squash and stretch ability for the ball, I might move on to something else, but that's what I would like to try. If it doesn't work out, I'll figure something else out. But I think that's a good idea for the theme of the game for right now. Music's kind of loud in my headphones. Turn that down. Okay. So couldn't spawn player state is null. Well, that's not good. Player state is null. Why is the player state null? Is it because I'm starting on the main menu? Shouldn't be a player. Go to levels. Map 1. Something happened. Yeah, couldn't spawn fatal error. Player state is null. All right, so let's go ahead and figure out what's going on with the main menu game mode specifically. I probably just have to set a player state. Send and restart. I can't imagine why that would have crashed the whole engine. Figured maybe that would crash like the little preview window, but not the whole engine itself. That's crazy. Trying out made a little eggnog iced coffee. It's kind of good. You gotta like eggnog though. All right, so I guess before I start working on anything, I got to figure out why the heck the player state, specifically for, I think it's the game mode that's having problems. Third person blueprints. VP third person game mode. Oh, is it because this game mode is in a different folder now? Did that completely just mess it up? Take a look here first. Whoa, what was that opened? Blueprint diff. What? Oh, yeah, why is the... I've never seen this window before in my life, but I can tell it's trying to tell me like the differences between different versions of the game. Like previous, maybe like revisions I've done. Player state class, removed player state class. Can I start over from here? Because that seems to be the issue. I think I removed a player state class. I don't even know how I opened this window. I'm going to be honest, this thing just opened. I just kind of fat fingered this window open right now. So I'm going to have to figure out what the issue is. Oh, speaking of issue, another issue is the cat cam's not on, and we have a cat here. There we go. There's Siren. Okay. Yeah, I would like to go back to this right here. Removed variable player state class. But where is that variable? I don't even remember removing all this stuff. See, like my camera component variable is gone. All right, I'm going to minimize this. I'm just going to take a peek around. See if anything looks different from what it did before. Player state class, player state. Kitty. Kitty's here. How's it going? Over here trying to fix a bug that came up. I don't know how I caused it, but when I load into my main menu, it gives me this little error. Player state is null. So now I'm trying to figure out what the heck that even means and how to fix it. So I think it has to do with this right here. Removed variable player state class, but it doesn't really show me where that is. I see variables here, but all I see is camera and default scene root. Oh boy. I might have to consult the new built-in Unreal AI chatbot here. See, I understand this is telling me like my previous revisions and like what I changed, but it'd be nice if I could click on something like kind of Google Drive style. It'd be nice if I can click on something and be like, okay, we'll go back to the point where I changed that and then revert it back. I don't know if that's possible. where would I put that? Got player state right here. Default pawn class. I don't remember there being a default pawn class. So when I hit play, player state is null. The player state class right here is filled. Browse asset. Is it this? Auto possessed player, player 0. Places. Places indeed. Places, people. Oh shoot, my window's open. There we go. All right. Baby's first bug. I don't know why I would have removed the camera variable. Removed variable spectator class, removed. When did I remove all this stuff? Added variable camera. Yeah, I don't. What is all this? I didn't add this stuff. Why is it saying that this was added? Are you doing the Disney Keyblade thingy at Disney this weekend? No, there's a Keyblade. There's a Disney Keyblade thingy. Where's that? I really need to get some type of like little audio notification whenever I get a chat. Sometimes I don't even notice I get chats or how many I get. I can see them on the window here, but it would be nice to have like a little ding or something in my ear, or just a very light little blip that lets me know when a chat comes through. I just have to look over. I can still see it though. That's a Disney key that you have to then take to a bunch of different places in the park, but it looks like a Keyblade. Interesting. I got to check that out. All right, I guess I'm just going to consult the Unreal AI. I wonder if this can connect to the actual project that I'm in, or if this is just referencing like documentation. I'm going to ask it. Can you see the project I'm working on? This whole AI thing is a new addition on this version of Unreal that Bacon Guy helped me out with. I do not have access to your project files. Well, that's kind of a bummer. It'd be nice if I could ask it about the stuff that I'm currently working on right here. Yeah, well, I'll just tell it my problem, because I don't really know where to start with fixing it. Let me take one more last like gander through here, but yes, please. I think when I get to all the spots, a hidden spot opens up. Okay, the key and a pin is in it. Interesting. That's cool. because this is the game mode. Okay. Main menu. Create the widget. Add to viewport. Get player controller. Player index is 0. Maybe class settings. Parent class is game mode based. No, this is like an inheritance menu. When you get to the spots, I don't know where my phone is being weird. It's all good. That sounds like a cool little event though. I'm gonna have to take a look at it. I'm also sorry your game's not acting right. Yeah, me too. It wasn't doing this last time when I saved it. It worked perfectly fine. I don't know if there was like an update or something changed. I'm still on 5.7.1. Usually I have to manually update the engine every time, so I don't imagine anything auto updated. It's very weird. I'm just gonna ask the little AI thing. Hopefully it can help me. Yeah, because when I try to play the main menu, player state is null is what I get. All right. AI can be helpful-ish. Yeah. Yeah, this little AI assistant was just added in this version of Unreal Engine by the Unreal Engine dev specifically. It's like built into the program, and it's supposed to be able to help with like, you know, what does this button do? Or what does that button do? Or how do I do this or that? I thought it would be able to like access files in my project to understand them better, or to like kind of guide me to different sections. I guess privacy wise, that's probably not a good idea, but I can at least feed it the error code that I'm getting, and maybe it can help me out. When loading your main menu level, typically means the player spawning process fails due to the player state not being initialized. This usually relates to improper game mode setup or missing player state configuration for that level. Common issues and fixes: incorrect game mode assigned at the main menu, gap map. That might be it. I doubt it is, but might as well take a look at it. I think that was here. Game mode is main menu. Yeah, no. Main menu game mode. That's not that one. Player state class not assigned in the game mode. Your game mode must specifically specify a valid player state class. If missing player state won't initialize and spawning fails. So that would have been, oh, put that right there. I don't need the spline or the moving platform right now. So I would assume that would be game mode, player state class. Okay. It's got a player state class. It's the only player state class. Player controller or default pawn not set or incompatible. Ensure your game mode assigned to the main menu map has a valid player controller and default pawn class that support player spawning. A default pawn class. Oh, is that what it is? Oh, is it because I didn't have it set to the main menu camera. I feel like it was before. That's so weird. Maybe that's what the issue is. File. No, player state is null. Player state class is assigned, valid, and consistent with your gameplay. Player state class is suitable to confirm player controller class. No pawn player controller. What? Used by server connections that are used to create NMT join no pawn. What? That might be it. Player controller class. I don't know what it was on before though. Maybe just change it to that. That fixed it. Look at that. Oh, there's my moving platform. That's what I worked on last time, was that moving platform. Or just setting up setting up a system so I could create moving platforms in the game. That was just a test of like making sure it followed the path that I made. Cool. Well, it looks like I fixed that. I don't know why the player controller class was set as a no pawn player controller. That's weird. I'm done typing. It hates me and now is cursed. Yeah, I understand. Especially on a phone. Like, I don't know what it is about on my iPad specifically. It doesn't really do this much on my phone because I have a Pixel phone. My phone doesn't do this as much, but my iPad is terrible about when I type something out, especially if it's like the thing I mean to type. The autocorrect is so aggressive on it. Like, not only does it like suggest an autocorrect option, it'll just insert that into what you're typing without even like giving you the option to tap it and confirm it. It'll just be like, nope, actually I know better what you were trying to say than what you do. And a lot of the times it's wrong. It's wrong most of the time. Okay, cool. Well, that's fixed. Main menu is working again. Now I can actually try to work on what I was intending to work on. And that would be trying to make like a squash and stretch for this ball. I guess it wouldn't really be an animation because I want the ball to dynamically squash and stretch depending on which direction it's moving in. I would like to eventually maybe turn it into like a straight up soft body physics ball. Physics ball. I'm so good at speaking words. I know good words. I do words good. Yeah, so eventually I might make it like a soft body physics ball that has a lot more like, you know, what's the word? Stored energy. So like if it like bounces, it'll like maybe like kind of flex back and forth a little bit, just depending on the velocity and how hard it was hit. But for now, I think I would just like to do a squash and stretch just depending on the velocity. So like if the ball is moving faster through the air, it'll stretch like in that direction. And the slower it is, the more similar to just the actual ball shape it'll be. Because if I don't know who, if I had said this before, like anyone actually joined in here, but I would like to turn this into like some type of little slime ball character. So just imagine this little ball, instead of being like a solid ball, imagine it's a cute little slime guy. It's still ball shapes, but he's got a face that's like fixed to one spot. As he's rolling, you just kind of see the face rolling along the way. And then maybe as he comes more slowly to a stop, depending on the velocity, the face will just kind of reposition itself near the top again. Yeah, and then I think depending on which direction you're going, that's the direction the face will be. Well, no, I don't know, actually. So I don't know if the face should roll with the ball. I thought that'd be kind of funny, just seeing like a stupid little smiling face, just like kind of rolling along especially like in the middle of the air, like just seeing like a spinning, smiling face, just wee, you know, having a great time in the middle of the air. I don't know if I should do it like that or if the face should be like fixed to the front and like the jelly body kind of just spins more independently of the face, like the face stays fixed to the front. But that is something that I've decided. It's not going to be like a golf ball like I originally wanted it to be. I was originally going to make this like a little golf ball platformer. Not going to be a golf ball. It's going to be a little slime guy. How exactly that is implemented and what it looks like, still yet to be determined. But I think it is going to be a little slime guy. Probably kind of like Slime Rancher, as far as just the way the slimes look. That's the wrong profile. Let's take a gander here. Yeah, just kind of similar to that. Maybe a little more simplified of a face. But I'm just imagining a little dude that you control. It's kind of similar to Slime Rancher's slimes. Which, if you haven't played Slime Rancher, this is a surprisingly good game. Very underrated. I think there's a second one now, right? Yeah, Slime Rancher 2. Fun game. I think it'd be fun to control a little slime boy. Okay, so where would I even start? Probably in the ball itself. So let's go to blueprints. I should probably rename this folder. Can I rename that without causing any issues? I just leave third person game mode, but I don't need I don't need the third person game mode to be its own folder right here. I would rather just that be the blueprints folder, because the only thing in there is blueprints and then this material for some reason. Damn, gotta clear the throat a lot today. Which again, I don't know why this material is here. Like there's other materials in the project files, like the default project files. I don't know why this green one is the only one that's like visible right now. So if I were to do this, just bring that to content, move here, find and replace for third person game mode. Otherwise assets can be missing from cooked builds. Continue with rename. I'm not renaming anything. All right, you know what? I'm going to hit save. Save all. Now let's try that. If I mess anything up, I'll just go back and revert that. What the heck? It didn't move the folders, but it moved the game mode. And it seems like the game mode has disappeared. I don't know where it went. Third person game mode. Okay, that's weird that it went down there. Wait, there's a whole nother... Is there a way to just revert? Just reopen this. Don't save. Yeah, don't save nothing. Let's reopen that. See what I did. Okay. It still works, right? Like I fixed that? All right. All right, so all I want is this blueprints folder. I want this to be moved to content. Wait, there's already a blueprints folder right here. Whoa. What is this then? Is this whole folder empty? All right, I guess I can delete that. That whole thing's empty. I don't know why there's a duplicate copy of the blueprints folder right there. No, what is happening? I'm so confused right now. All right, let's do this. We're going to go to Documents. We're going to go to GitHub. Prototype. Content. No, that's all there. What is happening? It's like a duplicated folder here. Oh, that's not good. So what if I delete this one instead? Some of the assets being deleted are still referenced in memory. Oh no. I've got like duplicated folders here, and it seems like it's referencing back and forth between different ones, between the duplicate and the original. Oh, that sounds like a headache to deal with. Yeah, this is all still here. Player, main menu, that's, yep. See, in the file explorer, it's like it's all there and it's duplicated, but under the blueprints folder here, these are empty. Right? So hang on, let's go back. All right, so this is the same file structure as right here. We can see blueprints. This is the first blueprints folder right here. This has stuff in it, you know, like all same in the file explorer in Unreal. It shows the proper blueprints. But when I come down here into this duplicated one, or I guess that first one's technically the duplicated one up here, but this one, which was the original, none of the content is shown in the folders here, but it's shown in the ones up here. And that's in the Unreal File Explorer. But when I come to the actual File Explorer, see, same structure, third person, click on third person. See, even just starting here, third person. Okay, so it does have the material, that material. But when I click blueprints, it shows that there should be other files here that aren't here. Can I refresh this? Does this need to be refreshed? Is there a way to refresh this file folder here? It appears we have a discrepancy. I hate discrepancies. Oh boy. Oh, hey, look at that. Get wrecked. My auto mod just blocked one of those Streamboo bots trying to sell viewers right now. Held a message for using a channel block term. Allow, we'll post it to the chat. No, we're going to deny that. Pete, that's, I don't know if you're still here, Miss Bumtastic, but I recommend going to set up those keywords so that you don't get your little Streamboo bots posting in your chat, spamming it. Oh, this is concerning. This file structure is concerning. What just happened to my mouse? Okay, my mouse is still gone. There we go. Oh, when I click on Unreal, my mouse is gone. Look at, you can see at the top, the little sections being highlighted in the toolbar up there. Stuff's being highlighted. It's because my mouse is over, but my mouse is invisible for some reason. Okay, we're just gonna close that. It's not even saved. Go back to Documents, GitHub, Ball Game Prototype. Just open it from here. I don't know if that's really going to make any difference, but need to do something to get this fixed. Okay. Yeah, all of these are... Man. So all the stuff I need is here, but it looks like there's duplicates. So if I just delete this folder right here, delete folder blueprints. I hit yes on that, didn't I? Delete folder blueprints. Assets referenced. Ending deleted assets. What is referencing it? Okay, the camera level. It seems like most of the stuff here is referenced. So can I not? So I feel like I should just be able to delete the duplicate. But then I'm also getting a warning. Some of the assets being deleted are still referenced in memory. Yeah. That's scary. That's a scary thing. You know what I might do, actually? Might make a duplicate. Oh, you know what? Actually, what I should do? I'm going to close all this. Open GitHub Desktop. Let's fetch origin. Last fetched 7 days ago. I'm scared of overwrite. When did I last push a change? That's what I want. I don't want to know when I last fetched one. I want to know when I last pushed one. Just moved a node or two. Yeah, I want to fetch this right here. How do I roll it back? And I got to figure out how to do that because that's like the whole point of this program, is to be able to roll back changes like that. Okay, let's take a look. History. What is amend commit? I see revert commit, but what's amend commit? Amending a git commit allows modification of the most recent commit in your current branch. This is useful for correcting a commit message or for including changes. Okay. Yeah, I want all the... I don't want these changes that I made. I know how to fix that issue that I was having a second ago, so I'll just go in and fix that. But I think I caused that duplicated folder conundrum here a second ago, so I'd like to just roll that back. See, I want to click this. I want to... Ooh, discard changes, is that it? Just gonna ask Gemini. Go to the Changes tab. Right click. Discard all changes. Okay. Yeah, that's what I want. Discard changes. Changes can be restored by retrieving them from the recycle bin. That's good to know, but I won't need to do that. The changes are still here. I don't know what the problem is. Unreal Engine is closed. Yeah. There's still a blueprints folder right there that I don't need. That is unfortunate. All right, let's close that. Yeah, these all say new. Is there a date created? I don't want a date modified. I want a date created. Created today. Yeah, it's created today. Yeah, this folder was created today. Create a date. No. Oh, that's the content folder. Yeah, no. I want blueprints folder created today. Yeah. So I feel like I should just be able to delete them. I'm doing it. I don't know why I can't revert these. That's kind of frustrating. But I'm just gonna do it. I'm just going in. If I can find the right dang folder. Open that up. I'm just gonna delete it. I'm gonna ignore the editor warnings. I'm gonna reallocate references. We're just doing it. Now let's make sure that this still has all the files that it needs though. Show and Explorer, person game mode. Yeah, that's all still there. So we're just deleting this. Delete folder. Doing it. Oh no. That was probably silly of me. Here, let's try map 1. Oh boy. Failed to save. All right. We're just gonna have to, I think I'm gonna have to just pull and revert. Oh. Discard all changes, yeah. All right, now. Okay. Just gonna call that old. I just need to completely make a new one. I don't know what I've done to mess everything up, but everything's messed up now. So I got to just completely re-download the version that I have backed up. Go to File, Clone Repository. Okay, yeah. So clone. I think this should fix it. I think this is going to fix it. If not, I am screwed. Not screwed, but... Okay, okay. Okay. Okay, we're cooking. We're cooking. I may be out of the woods here. I'm out of the woods. I think I fixed it. Yeah, player state is null. Okay, so we're just back to the same point I was earlier. Beautiful. That's all I needed. All right, so now let's go to blueprints. Main menu game mode. Default on class is main menu camera. Compile. The no pawn player controller is player controller. Okay. Okay, cool. We're back with a vengeance. Got it all fixed. Beautiful. Whew, that was scary. It's terrifying. Alrighty. Now I can get back to what I was trying to work on, which was the oh, let's see if it shows those changes on GitHub desktop. It does. Okay, so it's going to continue just backing up. Yeah, cool. It's just going to continue backing up the new one now instead of the old one, because the old one has a different name now. Okay. I probably should have left that little like third person map in the game. That way I have like a little testing environment. Okay, blueprint. Levels, okay. Oh, this is the main menu, that's right. And I'm just gonna copy all that. Level. Test map. Save. Paste. All right. This is the origin. Okay, here we go. Let's go to modeling mode. Yep. Box. Oh, did not need to do that. That back to normal. And then model. Should I just accept that first and then? Am I crazy? Where's the extrude and pull? Is it polygroup edit? There we go. Okay. Push pull. So let's select that. I guess it doesn't need to be exactly, but it'd be nice if I could input some type of measurements for that. So I don't have to just like freehand push and pull it. Let's do that, I guess. Just going to make a little enclosed space. Oh, you know what? I could probably just do it like this. Hit this, this, and this. Push, pull. Something like that. Push, pull. Okay, something like that. And then let's do one more small little section here. Snap it all? It does. Do it like that. We'll just snap it to like one of these little squares, small squares width. Same with these. So I'm gonna make walls out of that. The base for the walls. Start over here. Okay. And there, and there. Push, pull. Okay. There, and there. Push, pull. Okay, cool. Now, I can just do this. I gotta select them all first, but select that, and that. All these faces. these edge faces here. I'll just raise them up. That way we got a little wall, a little contained area. Basically the same exact thing as the pre-made map that I deleted thinking I wouldn't need it. But now I got my own that I made. Yeah, something like that. Perfect. Then just put a little man, the boxes look kind of goofy, or the grid lines. It doesn't really matter, but my OCD is like, oh, they don't line up. I hate them. It really doesn't matter though. Okay. Players start. Oh, there's no collision. Why is there no collision? Simulate generated hit events. No, I just want some type of collision. I'm so confused. Wait a minute. I did not have this problem before. Do I need to go back to selection? I don't know why that would matter, but I'm just falling through the ground now. What the heck? Is it? I swear I did not have this problem before. Except, is it the same right here? I swear I was just making boxes and stepping on them. No, I'm just falling right through it. Okay. All right, let's figure out why that's happening. Modified the default simple complex. What? I did not have this issue on the other map here. Like this is also just a modeling box, but there's collision on it. Why would that be happening? What is different here? CCD. Continuous collision detection, motion aware collision detection. Spawn, ignore collisions. What the F? What is happening? All right, so let's do that. I don't know what the problem is, but I'm going to just try adding in another one, I guess. Modeling mode. Box. Okay. Accept. Play. And I'm just clipping right through it. Also, did I add in 2 boxes? What's happening here? No. Maybe it's the settings that got changed. Maybe I had a certain setting set on the previous version of the project that wasn't downloaded that I need to now. Okay, because this is looking familiar. This bit right here. I remember looking at this before. I need to go to modeling mode, quick settings, new mesh settings, complex only. Let's put that back over here. All right. So go to project settings. And then modeling mode. Wait a minute. Modeling mode. What? Oh, modeling tools. New mesh objects, collision mode, simple and complex. Is that it? No. What is modeling mode quick settings? What in the world? Modeling tools. Right. Enable collision. Settings. Oh boy, I am so lost right now. I just don't see what this other little modeling mode quick settings option is. I don't see that anywhere. Oh, okay. All settings. No. Plugins. Modeling mode. Modeling mode tools. That's where I just was. Oh gosh. Okay. I guess I don't know how to fix this. Mode. And this is such a vague comment that this person left. That's always very disheartening when I'm like trying to look up a solution for an issue that I'm having. And someone's posted a thread about the issue I'm having. Someone comments just an incredibly vague comment. And then the person who left the or who created the thread is like, "Oh, thanks. That fixed it." What fixed it? Like, how did you get here? I don't understand. I I have no idea what this is right here. Modeling mode, quick settings. I cannot find that for the life of me. I see all this underneath here. This is below that line right here. This is the settings that I'm on right now. Modeling mode, see? Modeling mode tools. All of that's here. But I don't understand what this modeling mode quick settings is right here. That doesn't make any sense to me. I can't find that anywhere. Like I see you got to click a little settings icon right next to it, but where that is, guess is as good as mine. It's just this vague screenshot here. And then the guy that posted the thread was like, thanks, had no idea that was there. Where, brother? Where is it? I see this icon. Oh, not feeling great about that. Oh, right here. Oh my gosh, it's right here. Modeling mode quick settings. My brother in Christ, what is the point of 75% of this screenshot you have up? What is all this down here? Oh my goodness. All right. New mesh settings. Complex only. Okay. Save. I think that should fix it. Go back here. Ooh, I think this is still not going to have a collision because I created it. Yeah, I created it before I changed that setting. But good news is, I'm pretty sure if I just make another one and put that right there. Yeah, it's got collision now. Okay. Okay. Well, close that. Okay. Let's go to modeling, model, polygroup edit. I wonder what happens if I select faces on all sides and then push and pull. Can I just push outward, or is that gonna mess it up? Oh, yeah, it kind of does mess up the normals a little bit. Or the UVs, I guess. Not really the normals. But, I mean, there are normals here, but it's, you really just call it like call it the texture. That's probably a better generalization for it. The texture is all messed up there. Okay. It's weird that they're all just on the dark texture now, but whatever. Is there a shortcut for this? There, that's fine. That should work. Yep, collisions work. Cool. Yeah. I just need this as a little playground for making the squash and stretch. Okay. Cool. Making a little bit of progress here. So now oh man, I gotta do the whole I gotta change all the project settings again. Window. Tab or new window. No, I want to change the settings so when I open a new window like that, it opens at a tab and not like a floating window. I just swore that was like right near the top here. Crazy. All right. Oh, it's an editor preferences. Okay. Editor preferences. Okay. Appearance. I'm in appearance. And user interface. Asset editor open location. Ah. Main window. Okay, cool. Okay, so if I close that, open that, beautiful. Okay, that's what I want. Alrighty. Oh, this can probably move in a little bit. Oh, this is the pause function. Okay. And is that gonna have, it's gonna have to run on tick, I assume. I don't know how else it's gonna detect the velocity. It's gonna have to check every frame for the velocity. Let's try to mess with that on my own first before I consult before I consult the AI about it. Okay, good. Charge and release dash functions. It would probably have to be on tick. I really don't know any other way that you're going to deform the ball based on the velocity. right. I am going to consult the AI just to see if it's best to do that on tick or if there's somehow another way to do it. But I think it's going to have to be on event tick. Oh, but I do want I do want the ball to like kind of sit not perfectly round when it's on the ground either. It's gonna have to like be like kind of deformed a little bit on the ground. I feel like I'm gonna have to create a skeleton for the ball, some type of bones, so that the mesh can form around the bones. Like the same way you would animate a character. Not the same way, but usually when you animate a character, you do it based off of bones and a rig. I don't want to use a rig, but I might have to use a rig. Let's just start with set world scale. Let's try to make this work just using like dynamic scaling. If I have to, I'll make a rig for it. Okay. What is the warning? Can I only have one tick? Oh, I can only have one tick. Yep. And let's move that here. I guess I'll just expand it from setting the actor location. Do a get velocity. Target is sphere. I can just do this. What? Does it have to be the I mean, it's self. That's fine. I don't. Okay, let's do this first. I'm gonna print string. Let's do this so I can kind of get a feel. It's gonna spam my feed with information, but oh no. That's what I was afraid of, is that the velocity is going to stay at 0. Let's do this. Maybe I can get component velocity. Will that work? Oh yeah, okay. That's what I need. Yeah, I need some type of velocity calculations in order to change that. So we are getting velocity calculations there. All right. So yeah, the scene root is not gonna have that. But... All right. Let's do this. This. Set world scale 3D. Oh no, new scale. I kind of want to try this. Let me save everything because this is gonna. Okay, yeah, it's not even gonna let me do it. I thought it would crash it. I cannot imagine what that ball would look like if its scale was set to whatever the velocity is. That would be insane. All right, so I need to calculate the direction. I need to do math against this number that outputs from here in order to set world scale 3D sphere. Okay, is what I want. And I need to do math to calculate this into a new scale. And it needs to return back to that scale too. It needs to be able to return back to its normal form. It's not gonna work, right? Oh my goodness, I'm scared to see what this looks like. Save all. Yeah, I need to save because I think this is gonna crash. I'm pretty certain this is gonna crash right now. So let's give it a shot. What is happening? That was that's not what I wanted to do. This is about what I figured I would have to do here. Just these steps. It's this step right here that's going to be quite a bit more work than the rest. Computing scale factors based on the velocity's magnitude. So I just need to figure out the best way to add scale to that. Well, let's start by disconnecting that. Let's just see what it looks like when I do this. Is it just going to keep adding? Or, yeah. Okay, let's quit that. Go 1, 1, 1. Compile. I feel like I might need to do some type of soft body physics. I don't think velocity scaling is really going to be the best option here. Because it's not going to deform when it hits the ground or hits an obstacle. It's just going to, yeah, it's going to look a little funky. I think I might need to do something soft body related. Okay. UE5's Chaos Flesh system. Sounds scary. Use volumetric mesh simulation to physically deform your object's geometry in real time, simulating jelly-like elasticity and squash stretch naturally. It converts your ball mesh into a tetrahedral mesh volume for physics simulation. Uses a solver actor to run the physics simulation each frame. supports environmental interactions like collisions and forces. So deformation happens when the ground contact and movement has kinetic constraints, so you can control parts of the mesh to anchor or attach to. Yeah, this is what I really want. I think that this is going to be what I need. Yeah, because Chaos Flesh simulates internal forces and elasticity, enabling the ball to deform from impacts, resting on surfaces, or applied impulses, truly giving a jelly blob feel. That's what I want. Oh, this sounds like a lot of work, and it's like it's scary, but that's what everything has sounded like so far. So might as well just get on it. All right, so I need to enable the plugin first. So let's go to project settings or plugins. Yeah, plugins. Chaos Flesh. It says experimental. Version 0.1. That sounds scary. Was this just added? Yeah, it seems like this, I think this was just added in 5.7. Okay, yeah, Chaos Flesh was significantly enhanced and documented in Unreal 5.7. All right, let's use a brand new experimental feature. There's nothing that can go wrong, right? Oof, scary. See, normally I would think this would be reserved for like the polishing phase of adding like visual flair. But it's really going to inform the way that the ball interacts with the environment, which will then inform how levels are created. I really don't want to create levels that don't take into account the fact that the ball can deform as it can. That is scary, using an experimental feature. I'm actually just going to look at the documentation. It's pretty well documented. Yeah, Chaos Flesh overview. Close this. I really don't need that right now. Manage Chaos Flesh through the data flow asset authoring system to generate deformation setups for the Chaos Simulator. Artists can use the Chaos Flesh system to explore physically based tetrahedral simulations within the Unreal Engine. The system creates real-time simulations of low-resolution geometry along with cast results from high-resolution cinematic quality geometry. You can manage the Chaos Flesh through the data flow asset authoring system to generate deformation setups for the Chaos Simulator. What is the data flow asset authoring system? How do I access that? Data flow asset authoring system. The data flow graph system is a node-based procedural asset generation environment inside the Unreal Engine editor. Data flow exists as an asset in the content browser and contains a node graph that produces a specific asset after it's evaluated. Okay. Data flow is implemented as a dependency-based node graph where changes to a node trigger reevaluation of its downstream dependencies. Each node in the graph is designed to take one or more inputs, process the data, and produce one or more outputs, which are then passed to the next dependent node. Okay. How do I access it? To begin simulating soft bodies, you must first convert an object's surface representation, such as a triangulated static or skeletal mesh, into a volumetric representation of the same object. The Chaos Flesh system converts a static or skeletal mesh into its equivalent tetrahedral geometry representation for use during simulations. The Chaos Flesh system comes with the following methods for generating tetrahedral geometry from closed skeletal and static mesh geometry. Tetrahedral simulation. That's probably what I want, is a tetrahedral simulation. Okay. Yeah, this is essentially an example of what that looks like. I want it more tuned than this, like a bit tightened up, but this looks like about what I need. Although I'm wondering if this is just, I don't know. Is this overkill? Oh, interesting. Flesh simulations can be computationally expensive to run in real time. For this reason, the Chaos Flesh system comes with the ability to cache its simulation results for smoother runtime playback. I don't want something that's expensive. Is the Chaos Flesh system overkill for this? This might be overkill. There's got to be a better way. I don't know, other people are recommending Chaos Flesh for a soft physics ball. What is this video,
So
though?
if someone asks me how to do something, if you know anything about me, I'll either explain it or I'll make a video explaining it. So what I'm going to be showing you is how to make these soft body
Whoa, what is going on with the resolution?
type physics with a sphere, which isn't always straightforward. First, you'll need Blender. Just go ahead and delete these soft body type physics with a sphere, which isn't always straightforward. First, you'll need.
I don't know. I'm not too sure about the way
What
those
I'm going to be showing you
the
is how to
spheres
make
were
these
looking.
soft body type physics with a sphere, which isn't always straightforward. First, you'll
It's
need.
not like squishing against the wall.
And then after you've created
Here,
the
I want to see another
here's
result.
what it looks like if you just put the physics asset in the game and roll it around.
Okay.
But that's with no spring or anything. It's just the physics asset raw with the animated blueprint added to the game. So yeah, that's how you make a soft body sphere in Unreal Engine. This also works for Unity. I just recommend using 1 or 2 bones for Unity and the sphere in Unreal Engine.
I don't really like the way that looks.
This also works. So yeah, that's how you.
I don't like these little weird
Yeah,
trails
that's how you
that it's
make a
leaving
soft
behind
body
like that.
sphere in Unreal Engine. And then go to Weight Paint, and we're going to
What are the comments on this?
remove any
You know what? Let's just try it. Let's start with the flesh simulation. Let's go with the chaos flesh first. I gotta figure out how to actually access it. The flesh system implements a volumetric preserving simulation using tetrahedral support. Blah 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 blah. Okay, let's set it up. Simulation involves creating a deformable solver. Okay. Does it say 7 minutes? What am I looking at here? Oh.
Importing the asset setup. So this is just going to go through the process of setting up the demo assets that we're going to use for the majority of the demo. It's also going to show you how to bring things in from an FBX file. So if you want to bring in your own asset with its own animation rig on it, you would follow the exact same pattern that we're going to do here. Okay, so let's start by creating just an import directory that we're going to save everything into. And then, assuming that you got to this tutorial from the dev community pages, you'll see that there are these 2 links down here, this static starfish asset and animated starfish asset. Just go ahead and click on those and download those into your download folder.
I don't want that.
And then what you'll be left with there is you'll have these 2 FBX files inside of downloads. So for just to show you what this is, it was just a very primitive cylinder that was extruded. There's nothing really special going on in here. It's very basic geometry. Inside of the anim file, it actually has a rig in here, but the rig is not attached to the starfish with any skinning weights. So it's very basic setup. Pretty easy to recreate on your own if you wanted to in Blender or Maya or something. Okay, and then let's go ahead and bring in, copy those assets over into our directory. Import first the static mesh. To mesh, that should be false. Just say import all. So here we have our starfish geometry, and then let's go ahead and import the animation now. And now for this, it is a skeletal mesh. We want to make sure that we have the import animations enabled, and that we have this based on the exported time. I'm not sure that comes on. I'm not sure that is true by default, so you might want to make sure. Double check, and just say import all. And then we can verify that our animation actually was imported if we just load up our animation file and say show bones.
Why are we animating it? Oh, just to show the jiggle.
Okay. Animation on it. And we'll generate tetrahedron out of our starfish. To continue on, let's just make sure that we can generate tetrahedron out of our starfish. So as we did in the quick start, we're going to go and create a data flow graph. Let's call this our starfish data flow graph.
Okay.
And then we'll go and create a flesh asset.
Okay.
Call this our starfish flesh asset. And then let's bind our data flow graph to our flesh asset. Go ahead and connect it here.
Okay. Let's do this. Bring this over like here. Okay. So I need the player. What was the file type? You said data flow asset?
We're going to go and create a data flow graph.
Physics
Let's call this
data
our
flow
starfish data
graph.
flow graph.
Okay.
And then we'll go and create a flesh asset.
Okay, it's under physics, data flow and flesh asset. Data flow asset. Ball. And we'll just call it DFA ball. Data flow asset ball. And then physics. FA flesh asset ball.
Call this our starfish flesh asset. And then let's bind our data flow graph to our flesh asset. Go ahead and connect it here. And now,
So I just gotta the asset currently has no data flow. Close that. It's probably I can close that for now. Data flow assets can only be changed while editing assets using them Cloudflare. Wait, what?
we're going to go and create a data flow graph. Let's call this our starfish data flow graph.
You just opened it.
And then we'll go and create a flesh asset. Call this our starfish flesh asset. And then let's bind our data flow graph to our flesh asset.
Okay. Okay. That over here. Data flow asset. Okay. Yeah, I think that's right.
Go ahead and
Oh, goodness.
connect it here. Go ahead and bind
What
our
is
data flow graph
this
to our flesh
resolution?
asset.
Okay.
Go ahead and connect it here.
Mm-hmm.
And now, remember, we have to close the flesh asset editor once we've made this binding, open it back up, and then we have our basic empty graph to start from. So let's go ahead and bring in our static mesh. In this case, we are going to let's turn off engine content, and then we just get starfish.
Static. I don't want a skeletal mesh. I want a static mesh. Oh man, I don't even just have the ball by itself as its own pre-saved static mesh. I am likely just gonna need to import my own ball. Dang. Oh, is there a show engine content? Um, it exists in the project. It's not being shown here though, just because it's like built-in engine content. Checking if I have to import my own sphere, if there's a way I can select the engine version of the sphere. Well, I have starter content. That's not okay. That is not what I was trying to do. And I might need to import my own sphere. Yeah, that's not right. It's a huge bummer. Engine content. Okay. Sphere. Oh, there's multiple spheres here. engine meshes sphere or engine basic shapes sphere? Probably basic shapes. Static mesh. Yeah, basic shapes sphere. Okay. Okay.
Let's bring that into our generate tetrahedral collection.
Okay, where's the graph? Is it this graph right here? Also, the window looks different than what he's looking at here. Flesh asset, probably because it's been updated. Flesh asset, yeah. Graph, data flow viewport. I don't have a data flow viewport. Data flow graph, data flow member. Yeah, no viewport. This has to be changed. Okay. So static mesh, generate tetrahedral collection. Static mesh. Okay. Generate. And it's starting to seem like this tutorial I'm looking at is outdated. Generate by barycentric bindings of a render surface to a tetrahedral mesh in its surface.
Maybe set this to 4, something lower. Let's create our mass properties. So the
Is there no generate tetrahedral collection? Append tetrahedral collection. And I am so lost here. Yeah, this looks like an out. Oh, it's 2023. Okay, so this system has existed for a while. Yeah, this is outdated. This is an outdated tutorial. It's the same tutorial just gave me. This tutorial's outdated.
Basic setup. So this is essentially a quick start tutorial for the Chaos Flesh system that I will show you how to take a simple piece of geometry and tetrahedralize it and simulate it in the editor.
Here's a little video of a ball, of a soft body simulation on a ball using Chaos Flesh. That's about what I want to happen. I just don't even know where to start, man. Like a play and a stop and pause. Generate surface bindings. Hmm. Yeah, I need some type of accurate tutorial. Okay. Okay. Chaos Flesh quick start for 5.7. Oh my goodness. Okay, 5.5 technically. Hopefully that's then load the ML Deformer framework and ML Deformal Neural Morph model. What? Dang, okay. It's looking like this solution might not actually be intended for real time. Like, I probably should not do this real time in a game. Because it seems like it's saying that it's recommended to cache the result, then replay it back.
In this video, we'll go through how to cache and view the playback in the editor. Here we have our Starfish Flash Asset Salt Reactor. Over here says okay. Go ahead and switch to play. The playback is the cache. You can see now we don't have any further simulation results there.
Yeah.
We can view the cache playback in a level sequence as well. So let's go ahead.
Yeah, this is starting to seem like it's not the solution that I need. It's not performant at all. As far as I can tell, this seems to be more geared towards like animation or like cutscenes rather than like real time. Which I understand, I suppose. All right, so we are not doing Chaos Flesh. We're gonna get rid of this. Delete. Delete. Okay. We got to do some other type of solution for soft body physics. I don't even have the music playing anymore. Get that playing. I'm gonna go. Mm. Material-based deformation seems to be what I need. No, I probably shouldn't do blend shapes. Okay. Yeah, so it seems like I can go the route of like a spring simulation using a skeletal mesh. So with extra bones, basically making like a ring, like a ball, but with a ring in one direction and then in another direction, and all of that's connected and can kind of like malleably move around. Or it can be a separate shader where the ball collision is still like locked in place, but there's like a larger sphere around it that kind of deforms based on the collision. I might need to do that. Might need to do a material-based deformation. Yeah, it's gonna have to be a material then. Guess we can get that out of here. All right, let's create a new material for the ball. Material. A slime material. is a scalar parameter, I think, right? Yeah, we'll call that squash amount. Whoa. Call one. Wobble and yeah, wobble intensity. Put a space there. Okay. Probably on the normal, right? I don't know. World position offset, maybe world position offset. Is there an absolute? I'll just do world position. Oh, absolute world position. Cool. Okay. Position. Another object position. Subtract. Use a vertex position relative to the center. Okay. Yeah, I think this is right so far. Can I? I think this should be XYZ, right? I hope this is XYZ. RGB XYZ. Break the vector and multiply. Gaussian amount -1 and multiply. I think B should be the Z vector. Might work. I don't know if it's going to. No, I don't think that's right. think that's right either. Oh, there's another. Huh. Yeah, I found another thread about squashing. It might be different from this approach here. All right. Try a different approach here. Found a material that I might just be able to swoop copy. Starts with a vector. Vector 3? No. This node's just called vector. But, oh, no, it's called something else. They renamed it to vector. And B. Vector 3. At vector 3. Oh. That is not it. What is this material here? Or what is this node? No. Oh. No, that's not it either. That's so weird. I mean, it kind of looks like it. It's a parameter. Vector parameter? Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Okay. Vector. Should be... Mount. That to 1. Multiply. Multiply. Should go into B. Oh, vertex normal WS. Like there's going to be 2 of these. Then where? I think that's it, yeah. Form. No. Locals. You transform vector local space to world space. Form. It's tangent space to world space. Form. And local space to absolute world space. Transform. I'll try that. Try world position. Well, no, because I need... Alright, I think this should be fine. Dot product. Import. I'm gonna be real, I don't know what these do. dot product expression computes the dot product or length of one vector projected into the other. The calculation is used by many techniques for computing fall off. Dot product requires both vector inputs to have the same number of channels. ABS is an abbreviation for the mathematical term absolute value. The ABS expression outputs the absolute or unsigned value of the input it receives. Essentially, this means it turns negative numbers into positive numbers by dropping the minus sign, while positive numbers and zeros remain unchanged. Okay. Apparently that plugs into the alpha. Oh wait, no, that does not plug into the alpha. I'm going to need a power node. Just a base. And then I need to make a parameter called power. .5. Then this should feed into the alpha of the lerp. Oh boy. All right, I'm so close. You always know right when to mess up my concentration. I love you, girl, but you have a psychic sense for when I'm the most concentrated. I guess this goes into world position offset. Oh, hey, bacon guy. Forgot it was Tuesday. Yeah, sometimes I do too, until I have a little like weekly reminder set on my phone. Sometimes I genuinely do forget until that same day. So, bacon guy, I have a development when it comes to the theming of the game. So the theming of the game is no longer going to be a ball as in like a golf ball. It's not going to be any type of like sport related ball. It is going to be like a spherical jelly blob. So I'm trying to create some type of material that will deform it based on the velocity and collision. I'm gonna be honest, right now, I am literally just copying someone's squashing ball material from the Unreal forum to see like what that even looks like. See if just trying to get a starting path here, because I would like the ball to be a bit more dynamic. It like helps inform the speed that you're traveling at, rather than just having to look at like the background and how fast that's moving. It'd be nice to have the ball like kind of deform with the velocity and with the impact of the surfaces. Only like a slight amount, because I think ultimately I still want it to maintain the shape like of a ball, but just like slightly deform based on if it's like sitting on a surface or if it's hitting something or flying through the air. So I'm just experimenting with that to see if I can come up with anything, or if I can find any resources online that'll assist with that. Might not end up working. I'm just kind of toying around with it right now. I'm gonna be honest, half of these nodes I would not have thought to look for or use. I'm literally just going through this forum post about squashing balls with materials. I was looking into different solutions on how to do that. The Unreal AI thought it was a good idea to recommend Chaos Flesh, which after some research seems way too resource intensive for what I'm trying to do. It seems like that's more geared for like high fidelity renders, more like animations or pre-rendered cutscenes. Because even in the documentation, it recommends you cache that simulation so that you can play it back and not have to real-time play it. So I'm trying to do something else material-based rather than like a whole real-time soft body simulation. I'm going to try to just do it based on the material instead. It seems to be the best option. The other option I've seen is maybe doing it like a skeletal mesh-based deformation, where you essentially just have like two 90-degree bone rings on the ball that just kind of like deform based on if it's hitting something. That seems like it could work. If this doesn't, it might be a slightly more resource intensive, just depending on like how many bones I have set up in that situation. So we're experimenting here, trying to figure out what works. I even came up with a working name for the project called Slime Climb. I don't know if that's what the name will be in the end, but that is the name that popped into my head as soon as I switched from the idea of using a rigid ball to something more gelatinous looking. I think visually it'll look basically like the slimes from Slime Rancher, just got a little face on it. I've never tried Chaos Flesh, but I know Epic showcases it with real-time tire deformation. Yeah, I'm gonna be real. I was having a real hard time like getting the simulation set up. And as I was going through looking for instructions, I found in multiple places Epic essentially saying for anything like high poly, they recommend caching it. For low poly stuff, it seems like it could work in real time, but it's still going to be generally pretty resource intensive. So I might go back to that route if none of this works. I know it is a somewhat new feature. Even the tutorials I was finding, the menus and such looked a little bit outdated and changed from what I'm looking at right now. So I'd like to do something that's a bit more performative as in resourcely performative. Goodness, girl. Right now, you're just up and about, sitting fine the entire time. Nope. I think you're on the right track looking into material methods. I hope so. It'd be nice to get something basic working. I don't need it to be extremely high fidelity and extremely accurate collision wise. I just want it to have a bit of a no, sweetie, you cannot lay right on the keyboard. I want it to be realistic enough looking, but it doesn't need to be like 100% physically accurate, you know? I think materials might be the best way to do that. All right. Let's see here. Save that. Now let's make the base color like a little bit green so that I can at least see when the material is applied. Maybe something a little darker, a little greener. I probably could have just used the or like duplicated that default green material and added all this to it instead, but it don't really matter. Okay, that's fine. It doesn't need to look beautiful right now. Just as long as I can visually identify immediately that that's the slime material by looking at it. All right. So it seems like this might be it. I think these are all the nodes I need. Vector needs to be specified local to the ball. So for instance, shrinking on Z is the ball Z, not the world Z. So it also works regardless of the ball's orientation. I'm just gonna plug it in and see what it looks like. Ain't no way it's going to work off the bat. What is going on with this little preview icon of the slime material? That's crazy. Let's go to ball, material, do M slime. Can't wait for this to completely explode and go crazy. What on earth is happening here? Yeah, that's not correct. Biblically accurate slime ball. It's terrifying, dude. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's one hell of a demon, isn't it? Okay. Yeah, definitely not doing it right. I think it might have something to do with this node right here. You know what? Let's try changing the power. See if that like shrinks the size of that huge. My gosh. Yeah, definitely not what we want here. That's hilarious. Well, you called it, yeah. Yeah, it's definitely not what we want here. Maybe, is there just a regular world space? Maybe local space? Well, that's just a normal ball now. Yeah, I don't think local space is what we need. Periodic world space? Oh, whoa. Nope, that's not what I need. Camera relative world space? No. U space? No. It's not local. I don't think it's absolute, right? Because that's what we were just doing and getting the biblically accurate, yeah, slime ball. That's not what we need. All right, let's see here. Just gotta toy around with this a little bit, I guess. Oh, this is a transform position node. Transform vector. I think that's what I need. Actually, not transform position. Local space to world space. Let's try that. No, it's not doing anything. It's still just as rigid as it was previously. All right. Let's see. -1. Mm-mm. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't think this is it, Chief. Hmm. Yeah, I'm not sure. Straight tangent space. It's probably not going to work, but you know, that's why we're here. Just testing stuff out. Nope. Okay. What other options do I got here? vector needs to be specified local to the ball. So for instance, shrinking on Z is the ball Z, not the world Z, and works regardless of the ball orientation. I think world space, yeah. Should be world space. Yeah, seems like there's a big chunk of understanding that I'm missing here. Your vector is 0, 0, 0 right now, if I'm understanding that right. And that would make it do nothing. Right. I thought this, it needs to be specified local to the ball. Try like 1, 1, 1. Probably not going to do anything. I'm definitely outside my realm of understanding at the moment. I really don't know a ton about materials as far as like using them for transformation. Yeah, it's this part here that says the vector needs to be specified local to the ball, which I guess that's the part I'm not really understanding on how to make the vector specified local to the ball. Can you link me your reference? Yeah. That's what I'm looking at right now. It also says between 5 and 10 is a good amount to get a noticeable effect. Set the vector to 0, 0, 1. Oh. Oh yeah, it's 0, 0, 0, 1 right now. So 0, 0, 1. Still got the alpha channel on it. Do I need a vector 3 instead? this is because this has 4 parameters on it. Let's just try that. Yeah. Use a normal vector parameter to determine the squash direction. Wow, this is a different setup this guy has. When it lands, you need to send the normal to the material parameter. It should work from there. You're going to want to create a material instance. Like of the material I made here. Create material instance. Okay, here let's put this back real quick. I'll just leave that there. That's fine. Material instance. Okay. Slime instance. I'll put a test ball in the world and assign the instance. Oh, okay. Let's try. Instance. Or just like just a different ball than the one that I have. Is that what you mean? Or do you mean just like assigning the ball that spawns in with that instance material? Oh. As we got slime instance material, just a mesh in the editor. Okay. Let's go back to slime. Just a mesh in the editor. Okay. So let's do basics, shapes. That's a cube. That's not a sphere. Okay. I probably don't need engine content here. Oh, not that one. Slime instance. Okay. We've got a mesh, a sphere mesh with a slime instance. Now, if I open the instance and play with power, oh, it should squash. Power. Oh, whoa. I don't think that's what I'm trying to do there. Power should be 1.5. Play with a mount. Okay. Oh, look at that. It is squashing. Guess I'll have to fix those shadows. Like inverting. I see what's happening. Okay. I think before it like fully inverted. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I definitely don't want it to like bulb up like that. Let's see here. Look at that little example again. Yeah, it's kind of doing the same thing in the example too. Well, it's only doing that in the... Seems to only be doing that in the preview. Material preview. Doesn't seem like it's doing that in the world space, which is weird. Okay, let's see. And this is going to be quite the expedition. Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely... Oh, look at that. Okay. My gosh. That's hilarious. This might not be the solution I'm looking for. Not a huge fan of how that looks when it's squashed up like that. And I don't even know what's going on here. Yeah, I'm probably going to need a different solution for this. I found a really cool tutorial that might be exactly what you're after. Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, because I don't think this one is the right solution. Seems like all it does is just squash it, like on the z-axis there. There's not really any additional deformation going on. Where did you find the tutorial? Was it just on the forum, the Unreal forum? Yeah, because I don't think this is it here. I don't think this is the material that's gonna work for my use case. Came up when I Googled it, but did my link send? No, I did not see a link. Maybe Twitch was like automatically blocking a link. Oh, that's weird. Okay, no, never mind. I see the link now on my Stream Manager dashboard. I just didn't see it in the OBS chat feed.
This is a material that can react to the floor, and you can use it as a player character to kind of absorb objects. So let's just get right into it, and let's go ahead
look at that.
and make a new material and call it mSlime. Let's get into it. So the first thing that we're gonna want to do, let's just go ahead and apply it onto this guy so we can see what's going on. We're going to want to go into the shading material and change it to a single layer water material. We're going to get an error, but we're just going to look up single layer water outputs. I'm really just going to care about these two top attributes. We're going to go ahead and press 3 and get a color in there. Let's just drag in a blue. And the way that the scattering thing is, we're going to need to multiply it by some value. I'm going to right click on this and promote this to parameter and just call this scattering. I'm also going to convert this to a parameter and call it main color. I'm going to go ahead and plug this in. I find that the best values for this is about 0.02, but those are really small values. So if you don't want to type in these really tiny values, we can just go ahead and divide this by something like, I feel like dividing it by like something like 1,000. It's not 1,000, by 1,000, and then instead making this like 20. Cool, we're going to do the same thing for absorption. I might just go ahead and copy and paste this over. Change this to absorption color or reflection color. Go ahead and call it reflection. And I'll keep this about the same. Let's plug it in and apply. You're going to see that it's totally white, and that's a little weird, but what you got to do is, now since it's a single water material, you need to change the opacity. So we're just going to go ahead and make the opacity 0. I'm also going to make the roughness 0 to make it shiny. Now, the thing you can see is like it's red in the shader graph, and you're like, why is that red? Well, it has to do with the absorption. So basically, it's absorbing every color. It's mainly absorbing blue and reflecting other colors. It's going to reflect red. So if we want it to kind of be more predictable, I'm just going to go ahead and get a 1 minus in there. And now that's going to work a little bit more like we think. So I'm just going to go ahead and pick another color. Might mess with some of these values. So this is going to kind of control like the murkiness of it. Oh yeah, we're going to want to make sure these two aren't the same. So we're going to make this one absorption. Go ahead and hit apply. And then this one kind of controls like how much of the color is scattering. It kind of changes the opacity. Same with this one. This one kind of diminishes like how much of the color is being reflected. So like if we change this color to like red or something, you're kind of what you're seeing through it. Okay, cool. So that's how we get like the jelliness of the material. We're going to go ahead and make a comment around this and just call this color.
Yeah, this really looks like
all right, the next thing we're going to do,
exactly
how do we get, like,
what
this waviness, how do we get it to react
I'm shooting for here. Good find. Great find, man.
Which is basically just going to get the normals of every vertex in the object, and we're going to be using roll position offset to displace things. So we're going to go ahead and multiply this by some number. So we're going to go ahead and promote this to parameter. I'm going to call this like pulse intensity, and make that something like 10 or 50 or something like that. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and plug that into the world offset. And you can see this now made this a little bigger. You can make it smaller even. It's pretty cool. If you don't apply this, you just plug this straight in, it's gonna kind of like float off into the distance or like off to the right. So if we want it to kind of pulse up and down, we're gonna go ahead and get a sine wave. What a sine wave does, just for demonstration now, I'm gonna go ahead and turn this back to 1. I'm gonna go ahead and plug this into base color. Oh, we're getting an error because sine wave needs a time node. Go ahead and hit apply. And you can see what a sine wave does is that it goes from 1 to -1. So we can multiply this by our displacements to kind of get it to go back and forth. So if we multiply this and plug it into here, I'm just gonna go ahead and take this off for now and just make it white. Cool. Now we're getting something that's gonna kind of oscillate back and forth. Pretty cool. So, but what if we want it to go a little bit slower? How do we control that? Well, we're gonna be affecting our time. Gonna go ahead and multiply some number by time. Right click on this to promote this to parameter. I'm gonna go ahead and call this like pulse speed. Maybe make it something like 0.5 by default. Go ahead and hit apply. Okay. Super cool. So now we have something that can control the intensity of the pulse, we have something that can control the speed, and that's going to be kind of our first displacement section. We're going to split this up into 3 parts. There's kind of like this main pulse, then there's like a rippling pulse, and then there is kind of displacement that happens when it interacts with the ground. So let's go ahead and do the ripple. So to do the ripple, I made this really simple bar texture. You can probably make this in Photoshop or I'm in Designer. This is all pretty optional. And I'm going to go ahead and get a panner node. Go ahead and plug this in, and I am going to set this to 1 on the y-axis. And something that I'm going to do is instead of having this, like the vertex, like this, like main display, this is kind of what's making the displacement, this is kind of what's controlling the look of the displacement. I'm going to kind of take that out so that we can morph some of the looks together and then multiply it by vertex world space all kind of at the end. So to do that, I'm going to go ahead and make an add node. I'm going to keep the intensity. So sorry, I'm just going to reorient some things. So pulse speed, pulse intensity. This is all kind of the look of this main pulse. And then we're going to go ahead and add that to this and multiply them together. Pretty cool. Okay, so another thing too is like we're going to want to control the intensity of this band on its own too. So before we add it to the main kind of like oscillating displacement, we're going to put another multiply. There's going to be a lot of multiplies in this. Go ahead and make this a parameter as well. Call this one band intensity. Make that guy like 10. And if we want to see what just the band intensity looks like without the pulsing, I'll just the add all together and just go straight for this and hit apply. Okay, cool. So now yeah, we have this kind of like band, this like rippling effect. So what this panner is doing is it's kind of, if we take this and bring it into base color, just to see it a little bit clearer. Yeah, we're kind of just panning this white mask over, and then we're multiplying that by some amount of intensity. This is controlling how much it's spacing out, and then multiplying it by the vertex normals to get it to kind of push out in the right direction. So we can do the same thing of how we controlled the time here. We can get time. We can multiply it, promote to a parameter, and speed. Maybe make it half the speed of 0.5. Hit apply. Okay, great. Half the speed now. Super cool. So now instead of just multiplying it straight into the vertex normals, sorry that this is all a little bit messy, I'm going to go ahead and take this out of the base color. So we're adding this band to the main pulse and then multiplying both of those by vertex normal world space. Cool, so now we have those kind of combined together. One thing that I think looks a little bit nicer when creating these slimes, and when you're kind of looking at this one, is you can see it's like kind of peeking up at the top. So what I did is I'm only actually displacing it on the X and Y axis and leaving the Z completely out. So to do that, I just mask components, and by default, it takes out the blue channel or the Z channel, and then we plug that into world displacement. Now it's only on the horizontal and kind of the depth. That's cool. We can take this and kind of comment it, just like displacing along normals. Okay, pretty cool. And if we just go ahead and see what it looks like with a cool water shader. Okay, awesome. Let's add the last version of the displacement. So this one, no, I should have said this at the beginning, but if you're having, if this kind of isn't looking as smooth, it isn't looking as nice, this is very heavily dependent on your wireframe. So you can see this is a really, really dense mesh. It doesn't have to be as intense. This one's a little bit lower poly. We can even just take in like a basic sphere that's even lower poly and apply that. If we go ahead and go back to lit mode, it's like, it still works. It's going to be heavily dependent on that of like how smooth it looks. Oh yeah,
that looks fine.
So right now I think this one is either a, if we just go ahead and check what I have on here. This is a 32K. This is an 8K sphere. And the one that was in the middle is about 500.
30, okay. Yeah, I think the default sphere looks fine. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to be displacing, kind of pushing out the vertices wherever it's interacting with another surface. So to do this, I'm first going to have people check and look up distance. And see if you have distance field ambient occlusion. This is basically kind of checking using a distance sign field, kind of how close everything is to each other. If you don't see this when you go into this view mode, you might need to check it on in your project settings. I'd also note that Lumen doesn't work great with this, so you can still make it work, just you might get a little bit of artifacting. So to actually take advantage of this information, we're going to use distance to near surface. This is a really awesome node. In the end with this.
If we go ahead and plug this into our base color, you're going to notice that it just turns completely white, and you can't really see it, but this very bottom here is actually turning a little black, just because where the distance is really close to each other, it's probably at 0. So if we want to see that a little bit better, what we're going to do is we're going to divide, and we're going to divide by something like 50. Go ahead and plug that back in. I'm also just going to go ahead and make this a parameter as well. I call this kind of like the interactive like distance, or kind of like the height. Go ahead and apply. It's cool. So you can see it's like a little bit darker now. Let's see if I crank this up a little bit. Yeah, this becomes more and more obvious. So now there's kind of a gradient where it's closer to another object. If we push this into the square, you're going to see like there's this dark band. If you're getting some weird artifacting, you might have to go into your specific object and look for effect distance field lighting. I think they might have updated this in the newer versions, but sometimes I still have this problem. So if you're getting like bands, it doesn't look quite right, just go ahead and take this off because it's trying to sample itself. Okay, cool. The next thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to want to saturate it. So like I said, it's based off of the distance. So this is about 0. Now that we've divided it a lot, now it's going to be like 0.2, 0.1, yada yada until, but still like once it gets farther away, it's going to be super large numbers. So make sure that they're usable values. We're just going to go ahead and saturate it. That won't change anything. And then the next thing we're going to want to do is multiply it. This is the same kind of thing we've been doing for the last two. This is just going to be controlling the overall intensity once we start displacing it. Actually, before we do that, because if we plug this in displacement right now, it's actually going to displace over here because this is whites, and when you multiply something by 0, it should be nothing. So we're going to want to invert it. So go ahead and do 1 minus. And then we're going to be multiplying it by the intensity. I should just be converting this to a parameter. To do something like, I do something between like 10 and 20 for this. And like we added it in here, just to preview it on its own first, let's go ahead and just skip the add and just add it, or just add the multiply. And so now if we go in here, actually not too much is happening. What if we increase this? Oh, is it 1 minusing? Let's see. We divided, oh, this might be way, way, way too big. I just realized that. I think it was kind of affecting the entire sphere. I think if we plugged in the negative version, it would be a little easier to see what's actually being affected. Okay, cool. That's a much better display of what's actually being affected.
Okay.
So cool. So we can now kind of control the intensity, and when it moves close to other objects, it does that. So to give a little better shape to this, what I like to do is in between the saturate and the divide, I do an exponent. Oh, that's not the right one. Or not an exponent, sorry, a power. And then promote that to a variable and do something like in between like 1 and 2 normally. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do like 1.2. Plug it in there. And what this tends to do is it kind of gives, let me see if I move this. Let me go ahead and turn down the intensity. Normally I don't put it this high, something like that. What this can kind of do is kind of round out your edges or kind of make it a little bit less intense. I generally try to put it up kind of high to kind of create the, more like a puffy shape. Do something like this, okay. So I'm gonna call this interactive shape. I'm gonna call this one interactive intensity. Gonna go ahead and put this all together. Put that there. We're gonna add a new add node. We're gonna add the combination of the last two steps into this final multiply. Gonna go ahead, get rid of the base color, and set this back to 0 as the opacity. And cool, now so we have something that's kind of jiggly, and that's kind of fun to mess around with and kind of push into the floor, stuff like that. Okay, so that is the main part of the material, is really just these two sections. I'm gonna go over some normals, I'm gonna add a little bubbles, I'm probably gonna add a Fresnel into this color to add a little bit more variation. We could definitely just stop here, but I'm gonna go a little further. Organize this a tiny bit more. Okay, for the normals, I'm just gonna go ahead and add in a texture chord. And a texture sample. And this texture sample, I'm just gonna use like the default Unreal water ripples. I actually don't think I meant to grab a texture. No, I did, because I want to be able to control the tiling of this normal. So I'm gonna multiply this, from the parameter, do normal tiling. Maybe do 2, put that in the coordinate scale, and then maybe I'll just move this over by like 1, bring that
She
into
is
UVs,
cooking
and
right now.
into the normals. Go ahead and just select all of this and put it in its own comment as displacement. And apply. So this will kind of make it feel a little bit more jelly, a little bit more gelatinous. What I tend to do with this as well is I'll make another copy of these two nodes. Generally, kind of, maybe I'll make it a little bit slower, a little bit faster, maybe make this go in a little bit of like a diagonal. I'll plug the same thing into the text chords, and then what I'll do is I will do normal corrected, or I think it's like corrected, yeah, blend angle corrected normals to kind of blend these two together to not make the tiling quite as obvious. Sometimes I like just keeping one normal too. It looks fine. You can do the same thing where you go ahead and input time here and multiply by something, be able to control the speed of the normal tiling. And then the other thing I will do is I have this little like bubbles texture. It's really just some dots that I just made in Designer, and basically do the exact same thing. Add panner, make it flow up. Add this into the opacity instead, and then if anything is opaque, if we do this, we have some bubbles now. That base color is actually what is, anything that is opaque, the actual base color is now what's gonna show that color. So if we make this like a neon blue, yeah, now you can see the bubbles. So I'll probably do the exact same thing that I did. Here, just go ahead and copy and paste that over, save a little bit of time. And just call this like bubble tiling. Really cool. Okay, last thing I'll do is add a Fresnel to this. So I'm just gonna go ahead and look up a Fresnel. I'm gonna change this to like 2. I'm gonna set this to like 0. This is gonna have like a black dot in the center and white around the edges. It it affects kind of like the angle that you're looking at things. And I'm gonna use a lerp to kind of blend two colors together. My main color is gonna go into B. I'm gonna make another color. Maybe make it like a green. Sure. Put that into A, and then use that for the alpha. That's just gonna blend these two colors together. And go ahead and show that into the multiply. Oh, I think I did the opposite actually. My bad. I mean, it doesn't really matter. By like having the main color in the center, and then have this be, if I put this to convert this to router, and have this be the edge color. Pretty awesome. Just adds a bit more detail to things. And then the last thing, and I don't think I will really go over this in this tutorial, but if you wanted to, you could turn this into a, go ahead and save this. I actually didn't mean to close that, but it's okay, I'll just reopen it. Show you what an instance of this material could look like. So I have all the parameters that I kind of just named, but I put them into groups. If you don't know how to do that, this is my main material that looks a little nicer. This is what you can find in the description. But if you click on any of these in a group, you can just kind of make a group called displacement. I number them so it's a little easier. You can kind of control the sort priority like that. And you can make something like this, have a little bit of a character creator, a little bit. And then really if you want to turn this into a player character, you just got to go in there, delete the skeletal mesh and shove a sphere in there with this material on it. And now you can have something that's kind of fun and interactive. So I hope this was helpful, and let me know if you have any questions, and love to know what do you think.
Interesting. Okay. That's a bit, I think that's what I'm looking for. I'll just need to add some type of, because I do want it to be controlled via velocity as well as far as deformation.
That's turn this into a player character. You just got to go in there, and delete the skeletal mesh, and shove a sphere in there with this material on it, and now you can have something kind of fun and interactive. So I hope this was helpful, and let me know if you have any questions.
But I'm sure a lot of those deformation parameters could be scaled based on velocity as well. All right. Are we? All right. I'm probably going to have to save that for next time. It's getting kind of late here. I spent a good chunk of time just going through different options, but I am going to bookmark that. Yeah, let's just save a bookmark on that. And that's going to be my project here next time. So, yeah, dang, it's already been 3.5 hours. That is way longer than my average stream. Well, cool. Yeah, I appreciate you hanging out, man. You're always a huge help. Like, genuinely, I think a lot of my progress could be attributed to the assistance that you've provided me throughout most of my streams here. As a matter of fact, if you don't mind, I was considering just making you a mod. I don't have any mods on this channel, Bacon Guy, just because it's such a tiny little channel. But you're always here every week assisting me. You're essentially, at this point, basically part of my learning process. So if you don't mind, I can just make you a mod, since you're already pretty much here every week anyway. I think that'd be appropriate if that's something that you're cool with. No obligation. Don't feel like any obligation to always be here or to police people. But if you ever see something come up that that's out of line, or feel free to ban someone. Feel free to delete a message. I don't think that's really gonna be necessary for quite a while. But yeah, I can't really think of a better candidate for a mod than you. You're my dude. You're always here helping me. Oh my goodness, so much cat here. All right, I have to clean that up in a second. All right, let's see here. Let me mod. Okay, you are a mod now, bro. Thanks for all of your loyal help and just hanging out with me every time I'm doing this. I really do appreciate it. I'll be on next week. I always say that I want to try to do an unscheduled stream in between that time, but rarely do I actually get the time to do it. But yeah, if I do, you'll get a notification about it. But if not, then I will be here next Tuesday again. I wield the sword. You do wield the sword, man. You've earned it. You really have. I appreciate all your help and your assistance that you provided. So anyone that hung out and stopped by, thanks for being here. And I'll see y'all next week. Take care. Enjoy your week.